Coming up on Recession Rx, we'll talk with a national expert on child abuse. And the resume doctor is in with the latest tips on getting your resume in shape. All that and more on Recession Rx.
Recession Rx, your prescription for getting through these tough times.
Welcome to Recession Rx. I'm Kathy Hansen. A Good Samaritan law that goes into effect this week is going to allow restaurants to donate perishable foods to food banks like 3 Square. As Shannon Onstadt reports, the new law couldn't have come at a better time.
1 in 10 Las Vegas families aren't sure where their next meal is coming from. 3 Square Food Bank buys or receives donations from local grocery stores to deliver them to local food pantries, who then feed as many hungry mouths as they can.
What the 3 Square Food Bank is working to do is to make sure that every child, senior, and family in the community who does struggle with hunger has access to food, whether it's a backpack bag of food on the weekends, whether it's a meal at a summer camp, or seniors, or whomever it is. We just feel that in this wonderful city of ours, we as the adults in the community should find a way to tackle hunger, and that's what we're working to do.
3 Square partners with 260 nonprofit and faith-based organizations to act as a high-discount grocery store. Food is delivered right to food pantries, and their operators can also come in to shop for extra items.
They have really helped us to be able to make our burden light, because a lot of times we would run out of food and didn't have any way of purchasing it. When they came along, it made it much easier for us to keep the shelves stocked and do it on a regular basis, not just spares, maybe run out today and wouldn't have to turn them away and say come back tomorrow or something like that. But we keep food there on 7 days a week.
Clarence is known as Deacon Mac at Fish Food Pantry at Nellis Baptist Church, where he's seen the cost of operating increase to 3 times the amount they spent last year. And he says the types of people asking for help have changed too.
In my area over there, we have a lot of families now with children, whereas before, about 4 or 5 years ago, this was not so. It would be adults. But now we have complete families that are coming for food. And so we try to meet the needs of the mothers and fathers to make their burden easier, and to give the children a balanced diet.
What we're seeing are an increase in the numbers of middle-class families who some never have been unemployed. So the faces of hunger, when we started the 3 Square Food Bank in December of '07, were the 210,000 men, women, and children who live in poverty. In just the last year, those faces of hunger have changed, and it's now middle-class families who last year were donating food, were volunteering their time, and now they find themselves often for the first time in their lives in need of social service and other support.
3 Square helps a lot of people, but times are tough for nonprofit agencies, which means that sometimes they need help too.
What we struggle with is on a day-to-day basis making sure we keep this food bank full of nutritious food on a consistent basis. And so yes, I would say the area that we struggle with the most is that we buy a lot of our food, and to make sure we have enough funds to keep nutritious, delicious food stocked in our shelves.
Help is on the way. Now that the Nevada legislature passed the Good Samaritan law, restaurant owners who want to donate leftover perishable food can. But that food will have to meet guidelines set up by 3 Square.
As a food bank, we have just a little bit more scrutiny about the kinds of food that we bring in. Because of food allergies and so many other things, we have to make sure the food is labeled. So the phase that we're in right now is that we're in some discussions with restaurants. We're looking at how can we take the laws that were just changed and use it as a way to get more food. And right now is when we're in those discussions, and we're hoping to be able to find a restaurant to pilot test it and find out how much more food we can get at the food bank to feed hungry people.
Shannon Onstadt, Recession Rx.
Local faith-based groups depend on 3 Square to help them feed their congregations. Desiree Duncan reports on what else churches and synagogues are doing to help people in these tough times.
People are so needy right now, and we're there to help them. That's our main goal.
Solid Rock Christian Church is a multicultural and multi-generational church whose main purpose is reaching out to the community. They are currently focusing on creating more services for people in need. They hold a food drive every Monday on the corner of Silverado Ranch and Maryland Parkway.
We're pretty much looking at 75 to 100 families that come through in a week's time. Families ranging from 2 kids to 10. And we just provide whatever they need for the week's meal plans.
On top of that, the church has a clothing drive for those that are seeking their way back into the job market.
We have a Angel's Closet for people who are going out to jobs, and maybe you don't have the right clothes to do an interview. So we want to just open ourselves up and to the community and be as best of a help as we can.
The Jewish Family Services Agency also has a project that is offering assistance to help community members get jobs.
Ezra is the Hebrew word for help. So Project Ezra came around when Rabbi Axelrod of congregation near Tamid had some congregants come to him and say, "Rabbi, I need help." They were out of jobs, having a hard time finding new homes, and so after 5 successful job placements, he realized that we had a void in our community, that we needed somebody to be an actual vocational service person to help find jobs.
Primex says that the job connection that Project Ezra offers is changing the way people search for jobs. They urge their clients to network in order to increase their chances of getting hired.
Don't take the path of least resistance by sitting on the computer and just sending out your resumes. It's not working. So network, get to know people in your community. Come see me. I'm well networked, and let's see what we can do to get you some help and get you back to work. The success rate has been incredible. In 3.5 months since Project Ezra started, we have 211 clients that I've already seen with needing help to find work, and I have successfully found 57 placements.
Much like Solid Rock Christian Church, the Jewish Family Services also has a food pantry that has everything from food to toiletries. There's also Ezra's Closet that offers clothes suitable for the workforce. Not only does this provide a great service to the community, but volunteers take something home with them as well.
Oh, I get cheer bumps. Last week was our first week, and I tell you, people were calling, "Connie, thank you so much. That helped us." And even today, they're like, "Thank you, thank you." And it's so wonderful to see that you're actually helping the community when you know that they're really in need.
Sometimes we end up crying because it's such a good feeling. Talking to you right now is giving me goosebumps because I know how many families we've helped. And it's just been an incredible feeling. I mean, emotional isn't the word.
Desiree Duncan, Recession Rx.
If your family needs help, call 211 for a list of food banks, rental assistance, and other programs, Monday to Friday, 7 to midnight, Saturday and Sundays from 8 to 4.